Hi everyone. So today's project, garden project that is collecting hollyhock seed. And I'm collecting by color. So as you've seen earlier, I had labeled all my bags by color and and I cut a stem just to show you an example of how I'm doing this. So this is how to collect the seed properly. So basically you want to cut all these heads off. Now, these ones here that are green are not ripe, so you need to let them dry. So into a brown bag works great, or even into a box, something that breathes, and do not close it, and these will dry off. These ones here are already dry and are getting ready to open. So they are at the next stage, but they aren't quite ready to pop yet because they haven't opened. Now the third stage is right here. These ones are ready. They're dried out and they're now going to start dropping the seed. You can see the seed in here. So you want to catch your hollyhock seed before they start dropping the seed on the ground if you want to strategically place them in your garden and start seed. And you can start the seed in spring or fall, but this is ideal right here. The rest of them, you want to let them dry in the paper bag, but these ones you can separate out if you like, and you could sow them now for more plants for next year. And because they're a biennial, which means they bloom the second year, they're like a foxglove that way. If you start them every other year, you will have blooms all the time because you'll always have a group of hollyhocks blooming. Now, my hollyhocks took a while to settle in. So they did bloom the second year and then they went quiet for a couple of years and now they're back in full swing. So that's kind of contrary to the biennial rule. But I figure if I plant more of these in the garden and plant some more in the area where I have them, I will have blooms every year because some will be going dormant and just do leaves. So they'll do leaves the first year and then every other year. And then the second year, you will have flowers. So you always have some in bloom is what I'm trying to say in a zillion words. So anyhow, let's cut these off into the bowl. And you can see right there what happened. The seeds all fell off because that one was ready to go. And that's what you'll see with these. And there may be some heads that don't. I'm going to get a different pair of pruners. Let's see if these pruners are better. So we're going to come in and we're going to cut this. Not the greatest. I'm going to find something else. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut these all off into the bowl now that I've got some good sharp pruners. Look at that. What a difference. And I like the point on these because they make it easier to work with than the larger pruners. I'm definitely going to have to get my pruners all sharpened for next year. But they will work on the larger stems. That's for sure. So you can see as I cut these how many of them are starting to open up and drop the seed of these blooms or buds that are already spent. So this is the time to get them now before you have them all over your yard. If you like them all over your yard, then that's cool. Then let's get Miss Ladybug off. Let's see if we can get her off carefully. Come on, she's having a great time. I'll just cut some more off here. There she comes. Oh, I got her. There she is. Okay. I don't know why I always think ladybugs are females, but I'll put her on the table and she can go where she wants to go. All right, so that's how you clean them off. So let's go out and let's look at what I have for plants. And these are the black ones. But before I do that, because I'm going to probably cut some more, I'm just going to put them in the bag. And I sometimes leave them out overnight if it's going to be dry, just to let the bugs crawl out of them, you guys. Because there are going to be little bugs in them. You can see little things running around in there, little spiders and stuff. So I don't really want that in the house when I store them. So we'll do it that way. So let's go cut another big stem and then you'll see how I'm doing this. What I'll do is I'll cut the flowers off because I'm only collecting seed today, and then I'll come back through and I'll cut them down to ground level. All right, so let's do this. And I'll show you how I'm doing it as much as I can. Oops, and don't tip them upside down like I did, because you can see here all the seeds are ready to burst. So we have a few more here to get, and then we'll shell them. I call them like shelling peas. That's how they feel, except you're keeping the green ones and the ones that aren't open yet, and you're storing those until they're ready to open to utilize the seed. So I'm going to cut this stem right where the buds stop, which is right in here, just like that. And then I'm just going to pick it up and throw it in my wagon. I'm doing them by color, so that's all the black. We have some more over here too, and I'm just going to back my wagon out. And you can see here, if I can get in here, all the blooms here that are ready to go. So I'm going to cut that and just carefully pick it up out of there. I'll give you a close-up look at what the flower looks like too, if you're interested in growing the black ones. That is what the flower looks like. Isn't it gorgeous? I really love it. I think it's one of the most beautiful hollyhocks in the garden because in the light it's iridescent and got shades of purple, but in the deep middle of the day it looks like totally black, and from a distance it looks black. It's a very showstopper of a hollyhock, even though it's a single bloom. And I didn't talk about that, but there are single bloom hollyhocks and double blooming hollyhocks. Some of the newer varieties, there's a lot of doubles. There's one that I really like. It's a peach and it's really pretty. It's an orangey tone, but there's lots of beautiful pinks and stuff out there. But I still admire the old fashioned single bloom like this. I just think they're very stately and very pretty. And I really like to cut them when you can still see the color. You can see it there at the tip, right there, because then you know what color it is if you're trying to group by color. Let's cut some more of these down. Lots of seed on here. Look at how long this one is. Oh, I'm getting all twisted here. You can see here how long it is. I'm all twisted up. And you see when I did that, seed fell. I'm going to cut this one down here too, and you can see there's a bud right down here. See here how long these are? Lots of buds still on these, so that's good. I know it's black. And I'm just cutting these by color. And then I'm gonna take these ones here, right here. You can see it right there. It's kind of a tricky spot because the stalks are against the fence and they're very long, so trying not to trip. But I'm just gonna go in and cut them. Oh, and the seeds are falling even as I cut. So that's why I say you can pick them on the vine too. I'm gonna have lots of these next year, maybe even in the ditch, which is not a bad thing considering the ditch could use some love. And, you know, it's not a project that I've gotten or have on my list anytime soon. It's an idea I have, but not a project. See, and this one has other stems, little stems on it with hollyhock seed in it. All the ones that I believe are the black. So I'm trying to keep my color groupings together. And I'll try to get those miscellaneous seed heads too, like these ones down lower that you guys probably can't see on camera. I'll do my best to show you what I'm cutting here. All right, so I think that's the end of the black. Now I'll show you the other colors I have. So this one here I consider more of a yellow. If I open it, you will see how yellow it really is. You can see there. I consider that yellow. And then that one up there I would consider more of a pink. So I'm going to try to cut those and group them by color too. But first let's finish the black ones and putting them in the bowl and bagging them. So the bag is 3/4 full of the Hollyhock dried buds or green buds, and I'm going to leave them open for the night outside in a sheltered spot and let the ladybugs and stuff crawl out of them, and then I will take them inside and let them dry. And then if I want to plant some seed this year, I can collect it, or I can wait till spring and then seed them then, either inside in a tray if I want to start them early, or outside in the garden. Those are the options. So let's move on and do the pink ones next. And for time's sake, I am just going to do the pink ones, one stem of the pink ones, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to cut the heads off in the bowl. A bowl works great, you guys. Something I also want to mention too is when you're working with these, when they start getting a little bit brittle and hard, you might want to wear gloves, because I found I was getting small little thistles in my fingers. So I'm skipping the ones that have no seeds left in them. Oh, and then sometimes they fly off the table too, just like that. So you can see this one's already dumped its seed, but this one over here has not. So we'll take that one, and it's got a ladybug inside of it. Lots of ladybugs inside of these, you guys. This must be a place where they go to keep warm at night. You can see them all coming out now. So I'll just finish cutting these. So I have yellow, black, and pink. And I'll show you the flowers in detail here. I'm just going to move these out of the way. So there is what I consider the yellow. You can see here. And I think those are ladybug. No, they aren't. I thought there were ladybug eggs in them. So that's what the yellow looks like there. There is a shade of the pink, which is a lot like it. Here is the really pretty deep pink. And then here is the black. So I'm just going to lay these out so you can see them. The yellow one's not open that great, but I'll show you in detail how they look. I'll just push this one open a little bit more. Push the petals down so you can kind of get a good look at that with the group. So here they all are. Here's the colors that I have in my garden right now. I have planted a bunch of pastels in the front. They have not bloomed yet because it's their first year that they've been in there. I'm hoping maybe for a few blooms next year. And as the years go on, you tend to get more and more of them. And the reason you do is right there. Look at all the seed on the table. Just from the little bit that I did here, they were dropping seed everywhere. And that's why you can get a really good bunch of hollyhocks in your garden in a variety of colors. And sometimes I think the colors change because I don't remember planting this color. Now maybe, and I can't say it's a faded version of the pink one here because the center is a different color. So you never know what you're going to get, and they're all beautiful, and mine are all single, but I did plant some double flowering ones in the front, so we'll wait and see if we get some next year out of them. But I think they're truly beautiful. And looking at that combo right there, I think it's just spectacular. So let's talk about how I store my seeds. So I will take these 3 bags. Like I said, I will leave them out overnight in a sheltered spot and let all the ladybugs and spiders and stuff crawl out of them because they will. And then I will take them in the house and I will lay them out to dry if I want to plant some this year, and then collect the seed in an envelope and then put it in the garden in the flower beds where I want them. Or I will just take these, leave the bags open. I tend to store them in my basement on a shelf for the winter, and then when spring comes, usually around the March time frame, I will go in there and I will shell all the seed buds and pick all the seeds out and clean them all out and get them ready for planting. So that is easy. The easiest way to collect seed for next year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll give hollyhocks a try. If you haven't grown them before and you don't have any in your garden, pick up a couple packages of seeds, or if your friends have some, get some seeds from them and sow them in your yard. And the second year you should start seeing some blooms, and each other year after that you will see blooms as well. So second, fourth, sixth, eighth year, that kind of thing. And as you collect seed and start more every other year, you will have blooms every single year. That is the way I would recommend doing it. And like I said, you can start some inside in seed starting mix under grow lights if you want to start them early and give them a quicker chance. You may have some luck doing that and getting blooms the first year. It depends on your climate. I'm a zone 3B, so they're probably just going to go in the ground and sit there dormant unless I buy a special blend, which I have not seen in hollyhocks that bloom the first year. So thank you very much, everyone. If you see any sort of white hollyhocks from any seed suppliers, let me know. I'd really love some white in the garden as well. And I haven't seen any here to get seed from, like locally. But if you do, let me know. And I hope you will enjoy this video and share it with your friends. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.